John Iadarola is stuck in time. For those of you who don't know who John Iadarola is, John Iadarola is one of these left-wing commentators on TYT, and he was just a middle. He took the middle ground of popularity on the network. He wasn't the most popular, but you often saw him. And his personality type is indicative of what I mean when I speak of the aging millennial. He is a person who's almost forever stuck in time. You look at this guy, and this is not a derogatory video, by the way. As you can probably tell, most of my videos aren't. You look at this guy and you can see that he was a person who was raised in a certain place, in a certain time, whose personality and views was shaped by a certain culture. All millennials sort of are like this. And it's almost like millennials have they had this perception that they were going to be young forever. People like to say that the baby boomers are a vampire generation, and that they suck the wealth of all of the previous generations and those coming after them through Social Security and through the real estate market and stuff. But millennials are a vampire generation, but almost in their own unique way. They're a vampire generation in the fact that they had this perception that they were going to there was this idea that they were going to embody the world the baby boomers wished to create. In a lot of ways they sort of did, but now they're in this position in society and the world where they're constantly becoming but never actually being. It's because especially now that Trump is in office and the baby boomer post World War II project is at a standstill, they're trapped in this dilemma where they're constantly becoming, never actually being. It's they're in a state of limbo. And as they age, as Trump came to office during the time when millennials were pretty much at their peak of sexiness. And when I say sexiness, I mean the peak of their appeal. The peak of their appeal. The average age of a millennial when Trump came in office was probably 28, if not 30. It was they were still rather young. And they're the yuppies. You know how yuppies are they're presented in popular culture. That's how millennials are sort of presented. But Trump came to prominence in his current persona in 2015, I believe, or late 2014. And he placed millennials in this constant state of limbo. And now that they're getting older, they're still behaving as if they're young and hot and cool. Which they sort of kind of are, because millennials seem to be aging slowly compared to a lot of generations. Possibly because a lot of it may have to do with the fact that they're almost subconsciously adopting their younger personas and they can't let go of it. But back to my point, John Iadarola is sort of indicative of this. He personifies this. They're stuck in 2008, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way. Obama was the actualization. He was the embodiment of the baby boomer project on Earth. Like how we say the Pope is like the vicar of Christ. He was like the vicar of like the baby boomer project. And millennials, they voted him to power, and he was supposed to make the baby boomer worldview manifest. And this simply didn't happen, and it was negated by the Trump phenomenon. It's very strange to watch the millennials as they slowly become relics of the past, relics of a bygone era, and relics of a culture that we're witnessing, a culture that is dying in real time. We're witnessing the millennial culture die in real time, and as these vampires try to deny their mortality. And I'm not saying this like in a bad way or in a way where all these millennials they're like needy or annoying or whatever. It's like I said, they were placed in this state of limbo. And now it's almost like they have to come to terms with their mortality, but they don't know how to do it. And they're constantly trying to deny their like mortality. They're like vampires. They're like a vampire generation.